Hey friends, so today I want to share with you a few ways of how I am making money on a normal basis before we even had the stay at home orders, before we were quarantined, before we were told to keep a safe distance. These are some of the things that I've been doing to make extra money. So grab a pencil, grab a piece of paper, type it in if you want to, and stay tuned. Hey friends, so if you currently follow me, you know that I talk about diversifying your income and having multi streams of income. So I decided it would be a fun way to show you and talk about ways that I am making extra money right now. All the things that I'm doing and probably give you a couple dollar amounts of the money that I'm making. So some of these things are things as you probably already know about me, and some things you probably don't know. So you'll probably be surprised. And you also probably wouldn't think that this is a good way to make money. Everything that I'm doing is bringing in some income. It's not making me rich, but it's allowing me to save and live my life normally as possible during this time. And I wanted to share that with you. So I'm going to be looking down. I have a piece of paper. You know, I'm old school. My memory is kind of gone. And I'm not wearing my glasses. So just bear with me. And I appreciate you just hanging there. Hang in there. I'm going to teach you some ways to make some money. Okay. So, of course, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm a reseller. I'm talking to the reseller community. And a lot of people who do follow me are people in other businesses as well. So I'm a reseller. I've sold on many of the platforms that are available. I have sold on Amazon as a handmade seller. That was a couple years ago. I am a crochet designer by heart, and actually, I'm going to get back to that a little bit later. But I sell on currently Poshmark, Etsy, and Macari. Some things I just threw on Macari of items that I was like, you know what? I think I can sell them, but they're not going to sell on Poshmark. And I don't sell on eBay. So I said, let me just try it. And it's like really funny. A couple things have sold. And even if Macari deactivates my items, I just activate them. I probably only have 20 things on Macari. And I currently sell on Etsy. And I'll probably cross list a couple things on Depop. And Etsy and Depop are most of my vintage items. And in a minute, I'll tell you some other things that I'm selling on Etsy as well. I wrote an ebook. My ebook is called The Reseller Survival Guide, Practical Advice for Resellers. I wrote that book because so many people were asking me questions, and I figured let me just throw a book together, and the response was amazing. I don't know a whole lot compared to a lot of people in the community, but I know some things, and I did a lot of research. I put a lot of hours into this book. It's just like practical advice on who should file taxes, when you should file taxes, creating a schedule, creating a budget, places you can source, BOLOs. I give you templates, different things like that. So why not sit down and create an ebook? It doesn't have to be reselling related. It could be something related to something that you know. If you've taught a course before, if you've taught school, if you can speak another language, if you are a designer and you want to write things down and put it into an ebook, you basically just create a Word document, type everything in, turn it into a PDF, and bam. Now, what I want to tell you is to safeguard your ebook, you probably want to get it copyrighted. My ebook is copyrighted. So if someone comes out with the same exact book, I could take legal action against them. I don't know how far I would get into that, but it costs $55 to get your written work copyrighted, and my book is copyrighted. So I'm working on a couple more ebooks. It's not like a immediate thing, and I have some other books in the works. So I suggest that if you have something that you know a lot about, create an ebook. You create it once, you attach it to a place where you can download it. I have a website, resellerspassion.com, and I just create it as a digital download. A person pays for it and they can instantly download it. You create something once. It took me a month to write that ebook, and now I just keep getting the residuals from that. So an ebook is another way of making some money, and that's what I do. The third thing, it kind of falls in line with the ebook, it's digital products. So if you have a product that you created, again, find like a website, or you can use Etsy, and you can attach your digital product. You come up with a price point, you attach your digital product, your customer comes and purchases it, and then they instantly download it, and the money is instantly deposited into the account that you have attached to that. There are plenty of sites out there. I just happen to have actually now 2 websites, so I connect my digital products on my website, and I already pay for my website, but everything else is on my website. So some of the digital products that I have available, I have planner pages, I have a weight loss journal, I sell recipes. I have a couple family recipes. I'm going to talk about this again later, but I've baked in the past. And so I have some family recipes that are really near and dear to my heart that I usually don't give away, but people would ask me. $6 it costs. So every time somebody goes and purchases my recipe, I get paid for that. You may think, oh, $6 is a lot, but I also provide the recipe in 2 different forms, and I give them a story about the recipe, and I also tell them where the best places to use the recipe, what kind of parties and the best kind of gatherings that they can use the recipe. So don't fall short on the digital products. If you have a planner, if you have stickers, if you have thank you cards, you can create all that. Create it as a download, make it colorful, pretty, and it's up to the person who's going to print it to decide what kind of ink and what kind of paper and all that. They can print it on like sticky paper if it's stickers for their business. So get creative. If you've gone to school for designing and you're not doing that right now, or if you're laid off, this is the perfect time to create some digital products. I'm telling you. So Etsy is another place that you can attach your digital products, and there are other websites. Etsy, it only costs you 20 cents to list something. So I would definitely say Etsy, because I was a handmade seller on Etsy for 8 years, and it is definitely a platform. Vintage is doing its game on vintage, but the handmade seller platform is still the way to go. Okay. So number 3 is, sorry, I did 3. Number 4 is graphic t-shirts. If you've ever seen me in my t-shirt, I should have worn one today, but if you see a t-shirt that has like my Resellers Passion podcast, I have one that says, hi, I'm Leslie, Passion Reseller. I have 2 that say Reseller Passion Podcast, and I have another one that says blogger, influencer, podcaster, and a whole lot of other things. I have created those within my own platform. And I have tons of other t-shirts that are available. Tons of reseller. I have cancer fighter. I have for the baldy community, but just for the LGBT community. So it's all kinds of t-shirts and mugs and tights and phone cases. And I design those myself. It's basically, I design it, the person pays for it, I get a portion of the money, and it's a drop shipping. So the company sends the item to the person. I don't even have to do anything in between. Right now I use a company called Teespring, but I have used Spreadshirts, Printful. I still have those, and I can attach those to my website. But I like Teespring because all I have to do is design, and it looks just like a website. So for everything that I'm telling you, all the links are in my bio, so you can check them out. But it's Teespring, TEESPRING.com, and you can create your own storefront. So it's pretty cool. And I use the app Canva or the website Canva to design everything that I make, all my graphics and things. Okay, so number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is create a podcast. So if you follow me, you know I have a Resellers Passion podcast. And with the podcast, you can get sponsorship. I am on an app called Anchor. So the Anchor itself is free, so I don't pay for any hosting. Normally, if you have like a hosting platform, then you can reach out and find other sponsors. The cool thing about Anchor is they sponsor for you. I've been sponsored from beginning to now, and they continue. When one ad is about to end, they bring another ad on. So if you listen to my podcast and you hear me saying Anchor, try the Anchor app, that is a paid sponsorship. I am in the works of looking for other people to some private sponsorships. I have a link available on my website, so if anyone's interested in paying $20 for a spot, you will have a commercial run through the podcast, and that will continue to be on that particular episode, or if you paid for multiple. So that's a way to create a podcast through Anchor. Any other platform too, Spotify, Apple, but for Anchor it's free, so it doesn't cost you any money. and then it gets distributed all over. So I get, every time I release an episode, I hit this button that says add sponsorship, and I add it, and I get paid. And for some people it may not be a lot, but I get about $25 a day because I have so many people listening right now. So $25 a day, that adds up, and you never know where you could go with that. So definitely, if you're interested in starting a podcast, if you were on the fence, definitely jump onto that right now. Okay. Number 6, I just started consultations. I used to do them before, but I got a little bit busy. But now I've put consultations back into my schedule. So basically what I do is one-on-one consultations. I usually have people like all the time, like sending me DMs. I guess like the more like members you have in your Instagram family, I call them community members. They're not my followers. You guys aren't my subscribers, you're my community members. So the more people you're reaching, they want more information, and I am only one person. So at one point I decided, you know what, how about if I just start charging for my services? I would say don't be afraid to charge for your services. If someone has a problem with that, then it's their problem. Then that's when they should be trying to think of some things that they should do. But I encourage you that if you know something about any type of business, like my consultations are business consultations, they aren't just reseller consultations. It's $40 for an hour, and it's $80 for 2 hour Zoom consultation with me. And this week I'm booked, and I have a couple for next week. Literally, we're face to face. You're coming up with a business plan. I'm teaching people how to schedule. I'm teaching them how to budget, and anything else that they're trying to work on. I try to schedule and budget and just build my life. I've had tons of businesses, but right now my business is like really flowing, and I'm getting ideas and I'm getting creative, and people see that. And so I decided, you know what, how about help other people? Why, if the time is now, and if not you, who else? So I'm not afraid to provide my services. So if you want my services, click the link in my bio again, or go to resellerspassion.com. Everything that I'm doing is there. Number 7, I'm a crochet designer. I've been crocheting since I was 14. I am 50 now. It was a hobby then, and then it started as a business when my youngest daughter was 3. She is 17. My friends would see her walking around with her cute little mittens and hats and things, and I built up slowly. And then when Etsy started, I jumped on Etsy, and then I also added a Shopify store. I ended that business last year, but at one time, the year of the Women's March, I talked about this a couple of days ago, I made $25,000. I had to hire people to help me. I was able to save. Thomas and I were able to go on vacation, and I made that the year that I was going to go see concerts that I wanted to see, because I was putting so many things off. I got to see John Legend and India Arie and things like that. So my business has been really successful. I've always had carpal tunnel, probably for about 25, 30 years, I think, and I never got surgery. So my hands just kind of started bothering me. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to tone down crocheting, but I still do it on the side. There are people who still contact me. So in the fall, I get like orders and things like that. But crochet is not just like hat, scarves. I make, especially years ago, I've made dresses and skirts, blankets, socks. I've done all kinds of things. Fingerless gloves are big sellers for me. So crochet design is one of the businesses, and I can fall back on that. I'm even thinking about making some masks. Etsy just sent out a call to all the handmade sellers to start providing some masks. This is the market right now. So I found a couple patterns that I could probably work and do some masks, but it's like a way to get creative. Again, if you have something that you can do and you can do it well, why not market that? I think number 8, baking. I'm a professional baker by trade. Up on my wall, I have a Serve Safe certified certificate. I've worked in several cafes. When I lived in the city of Philadelphia, I worked at a place called Naked Chocolate, Andros' Sweet and Treats, Honey's Bakery. I've worked Sugar and Spice. So I've worked all around. I've been a cook too, but being a baker is more my forte. I've been baking since I was 6 years old. That's how it kind of started for me. And so I'm not professionally trained, but I've had some beautiful mentors at Andros' Sweet and Treats. The owner, Andreas, he was from Greece, and he taught me everything he learned new. And when I worked at a Naked Chocolate, 2 young ladies had graduated from the Art Institute, and I was going through a divorce at the time, and they taught me everything that I need to know. I came in as an amateur baker. They hired me after interviewing all these people, and then the rest is history. I had just gotten divorced, and so it worked out for me. And then I was able to take those things that I learned from baking professionally, and I made it a business. And I made my business was a gluten-free, egg-free, vegan type of dessert um, business, because my children went to a school with kids who had allergies and things like that, and I kind of felt bad, so I would make the same kind of desserts for them that the other students were having, and the school hired me to make vegan desserts for like special occasions for the parents and things. And so I kind of took that and ran with it, and I baked at home, even when I was working at the cafes, and then once I became like a lunch lady and a cook at a daycare. And when I moved to the state of Delaware, I kind of toned it down because you have to have special licensing. But I still bake occasionally for like former coworkers who know that I can bake and want cakes and things. And I tone it down, but I'm a baker. Okay, so um, I want to say number 9, I sell a lot of things on the Facebook Marketplace. It's a part of reselling, but it's a little bit different, and you kind of have to be strategic. It's easier for me to kind of go around my house and find simplistic things to sell on the marketplace. And the cool thing about the marketplace compared to regular reselling is it's cash in hand. And so you got to be careful. If people are coming to your house and doing like a porch pickup, you can have an envelope system. You can send them an invoice. I just have my husband around. I tell people, look, my husband's going to be here. Or you can meet them at another location. I meet up the street. There's a shopping center like literally an eighth of a mile from my house. So just get creative. Look around your house. We're going to be moving, and now that we are have the stay at home order, I'm finding more and more things that I want to sell, and the marketplace is the way to go. Also, Craigslist, which was my first go to, but now the marketplace, and that is definitely cash. People may not spend as much as they probably would if you sold it online, but man, you're taking out the shipping cost of it, and it's nothing like cash. Take that cash and then go to the grocery store with it. Okay. So, number 10 is to create a website, utilize that any way that you can. My website, I have 2 websites now. My first website is a resellerspassion.com. I've had that for 2 years now. And so on a resellers.com, I sell digital products. I have sponsorship link. I have my consultation, and I just started adding some wholesale products. Very small. I'm not going out and buying like huge bulks. You can go to Amazon and like smaller places. You can shop off of eBay. You can shop off of Poshmark if that's what you want. Buy the wholesale items and then sell them. The reason that I'm selling them on my website is because I can determine, one, how much I want to price them at, and then 2, my shipping. Whereas if I took those items and sold them on Poshmark, then I have to worry about, am I going to sell these items for the $7.11? Because since they're wholesale items, you want to get the resale price for them. You don't want to have to take an offer or submit an offer to a customer to try to get what the value of your item is. So I'm starting small. I have some beaded bracelets, some makeup bags. I had some socks that I purchased wholesale 2 years ago. So I just put those on there. I'm going to be putting these little mini journals on there, and I have some other stuff. And I'm also going to be creating some handmade things. And then I have another website for a whole new brand that I just started called Am I Really Bald, where I talk about my hair loss journey. And so I'm on Instagram with that. I'm on YouTube. I've been really slow kind of getting that together. I have a podcast for that. So that I'm going to say that's my number 11, a brand new brand. Start something different that has nothing to do with reselling. And then it's amireallybald.com. And if you want to know the story about Am I Really Bald, it's nothing, it's not against anyone. I'm not making jokes or anything like that. It's just a simplistic way. As I see, I just shaved my head today. So sometimes I get up in the middle of the night because I have a condition called alopecia, and it's hair loss, and I have scar alopecia. So once my hair and the hair follicles come out, it never grows back. There's no magic potion. It's part of like having an autoimmune disorder. People try to save you and offer you potions and stuff like that. There's no cure for it, and I've gotten to the point that I'm okay with it. I do have hair that still kind of grows around, but it gives me like a bozo look, and I have like all kinds of gray. So I shave it Every 3 weeks I'm home. If I was working a job, I probably would shave it more, but I shave it. And so I get out of the bed at night, or, if I go into the bathroom and I turn around and I look at myself and I go, wow, am I really bald? And I go, am I really bald? And I'm like, girl, yeah, you bald, but you looking good bald. So that's how I came up with, am I really bald? Some people think it's offensive, and I don't, because it has nothing to do with them. It just has to do with me. So I have another website, and that website is just a blog on there. It's the same wholesale items that I'm selling on my other website, I sell on there. And it's just like stories. And then on my podcast, I tell stories, and I have people, they send me anonymous letters and stuff like that, and I read it. So of course now I have a second podcast that is, I have started getting sponsorship, and then I have a website, and then I have I can put my t-shirts on there as well, my Teespring on there. So then that's another place, that's another business that I have. Okay. I have speaking engagements. So I'm going to say that's number, I think, 11 or 12. And so speaking engagements, people have invited me to speak now. I haven't really banked on that because I had some engagements set up. I had 4, and so far they've canceled because of everything, stay at home order and things like that. So I'm rescheduling things for the end of the year. But I do have a couple segments where I'm going to be on different people's podcasts and things like that. And so that's just really fun, just kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. So if you've ever had the desire to speak, if you're knowledgeable about something, find some places, Google where you can find some places where you can speak. If you belong to a church, ask if you can speak. Join some women's groups around your neighborhood and in your area, in your state. So you never know, you can make really good money being a speaker, speaking about something that means something to people. Okay. And the last thing, which I'm probably going to say is number 13, which surprises people. I was just telling my children about it today, and they were laughing at me, but I'm serious. I am ordained. I am ordained to perform weddings. I can perform christenings and funerals, but I only want to perform weddings. So I perform weddings and same-sex marriages, and that's what I want to do. So my daughter's supposed to be getting married in August, and I just happened to ask her today what's going on, and she said, "Well, we're probably gonna postpone everything." So I said to her, "Well, I'll marry you, and then later on you can have a ceremony." And they laughed at me, and I said, "Seriously, I am an ordained minister, so I can marry you." So if you guys are looking for someone, and I just want to find out all the rules and everything, if you could do it virtually, long as you send me your marriage license or whatever, you get married virtually, send it to me like overnight or whatever. I sign it, send it back to you, and it will be official. But I just wanted to kind of let you know that these are all the things that I'm doing to make money. So I'm reselling, writing an ebook, digital download, graphic t-shirt, podcast, one-on-one consultations. I crochet, I bake, I sell on the Facebook marketplace. I have 2 websites, speaking engagements, and I'm an ordained minister. I can perform weddings. So I just wanted to share with you a couple things that more than a couple things, the 13 things that I do to make money. And it's probably more because I draw, I paint, I do a lot of other things, and I have some things coming up. But I wanted to share my life with you so that you can start thinking to yourself, well, maybe I can do that myself now that I'm home. If you are home and you're not being productive, then you're just wasting your time. We're not inside just because something's happening on the outside, but while we're in the inside, we can start coming up with ways to make money. Start thinking about it. Write some things down and go online and research. This is the time. This is the digital age. This is the age of the internet. This is the age of social media. If it's something that you want to learn, learn it. If it's something that you want to teach, teach it. Go out and grow and be successful. So thank you, friends, for watching. I appreciate you so much. I hope you've learned a little bit about me, and leave me a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm talking about. And I thank you so much. Take care.